Welcome, guys. Welcome. This is ChatTactic number 32, I think. I always sort of put the title in and then I forget about what the number is. I know it's 30 something. It's anyway. Welcome. We're going to we've got a lot to cover over the next 2 weeks. Actually, this week we're going to be talking a lot about. Well, there's a few games that have come out this week, and there's going to be a few more games next week as well that I'm allowed to then talk about at that stage. So I do actually have some games that I'm still under embargo with, so I'll talk about them next week, of course, when I'm no longer under embargo. But and it literally does arrive pretty much right on the ChatTactic session that I'm going to be doing next week as well. Also, I know that most of you have now sort of experienced a change in your timing with daylight savings. Where I am, we don't actually have daylight savings, and so essentially I'm just going to keep on going at this time if that sort of suits, because it works best for me. Like as long as I can sort of do it within 2 hours, it still actually is fairly functional for me to do it at this time. So that's the plan, is to keep on going at this time frame, which I think is a bit later. I think it's an hour later for a lot of you. Hi Rogue and Hugh David and Eddie Ballgame. Welcome, guys. Saying good morning from Alaska. There we go. I'm guessing it must be starting to get pretty cold for you up in Alaska. Hi CB. So the big one, I guess, this week is Distant Worlds 2. So we'll talk about that. I'll talk about that in a bit of detail, but just very, very briefly before we get into it. There's a very limited sale on at the moment. I've been trying to put this out there for a long period of time, like this week. Not a long period of time, a short period of time. This is available at a whopping 60% off. I've never seen it this cheap before. So you can see there, 60% off the base game, which is fairly substantial. Now these are Australian dollars backing through here, but that's the best special that I've ever seen on Distant Worlds, and it finishes in just a few days. So it literally finishes what's the date today? The 29th for me. This is showing my dates in through here. It'll actually be the 31st for the rest of you. So just be aware when you're looking at this one, seeing the offer ends on the 1st of November. That's in here in Australia, where we're basically a day ahead. So it's actually the 31st that will then finish. So just be aware of that, which is literally in 2 days' time. So if you are wanting to pick up Distant Worlds, if you've been on the fence about getting it, this is the time to grab it. Also, just to go through that very, very briefly, you do actually then have these two DLCs at 40% off, which is fantastic. And then also, even with the Return of the Shakturi DLC, which is a great DLC, by the way, is also 10% off. You can see there that the base price for the Return of the Shakturi is $30 Australian, essentially, whereas the other ones are just 15. So it's sort of double the price. I'll go into much more detail about Distant Worlds. We might even sort of fire it up and have a bit of a look at what the changes actually are. So there we go. We've got Jay Crowell saying hello from Alberta, Canada. There we are. Well, welcome, guys. And Reed as well, saying good morning, Daz. It's evening here. Yeah, it's sort of, for me, it's very, very early in the morning. So it's already Tuesday morning for me. But I sort of, I know for the vast majority of you, it's actually Monday evening or Monday afternoon or whatever it might actually be. Anyway, so that's so those dates. Whenever you see a date on my Steam thing, it's actually taking into account the Australian time zones, etc. Right. Anyway, so. What do we need to do? We need to, we'll leave that one there, because the giveaway today is actually a really exciting one. It's KeeperRL, and I'll do a bit of a deeper dive into this one as well. So we've got KeeperRL in through here, which is a fantastic game. This one here, you can see it's sort of saying mostly positive recently at 75%, but 84%, 85%. Over time. It's a great game, this one. And I will actually fire this one up and show you the changes that have come into this game, because the reason I've got the giveaway to give away is because there's been a big update to the game just this week. And so I'll go through what that update actually does bring. So the game launched actually back in March, so March of this year. And it's great that they're still actually updating. In fact, I think it's going to ramp up, even though the actual official release came, like a fair few months ago now. I think we're going to see a lot more things actually happen with KeeperRL, which is very exciting because it's such a great game. So anyway, that's going to be the giveaway for today. So we'll be doing that one a bit later on. I've been trying to record content for it, but I'm not happy with what I've recorded. I've tried it a couple of times. It's sort of not that like it's the game itself is great, but the way I've been playing it, I've been making little mistakes. So I will show it today because I was hoping to actually have KeeperRL to sort of like a video up before today because it has actually released earlier in the week or at the end of last week. It's currently 30% off as well, so you do actually have a bit of a special in through there as like to actually grab the game as well. If you don't win the giveaway, I'm not sure when that one does off. That special promotion ends next week, so that's going to be when we sort of start next week. The KeeperRL, they will no longer be on special at that point in time. So you've got 1 week exactly, basically, to do that one. What else is there? We've got. I might just fire it up and just go through. This is actually, or I might even just talk about what it actually does do. This actually gives you a new playable faction, which is actually quite nice, actually. I really quite like it. So the KeeperRL team wishes to entertain you with this Halloween by releasing a new playable faction called the Corrupted Church. Playing either as a bishop or mother superior, you will build a church for yourself and your congregation, hold masses, pray and craft devotional items. However, the KeeperRL world won't allow you to stay holy. Soon enough, you will start to give in to temptations such as luxury, alcohol, courtesans, and dark crafts. Before you know it, you'll perform black masses in the name of the evil god Adoxy. Adoxy is like a god that you uncover in the game as you sort of play the game. It's sort of like one of the boss fights that you end up sort of having to do. It's a boss element in the game. Before you know it, you'll perform so that when they summon his minions and do other terrible deeds. Now, I haven't played it that deeply yet, but this actually sort of does give you a bit of a promise. In fact, this is probably a good way to show it. I will actually go into the game and show you how the game is played a little bit, but it's the way it sort of works is you've got the new keepers, either the Mother Superior or the Bishop back and through here. You've then got your different minions, which there's not as many as most other places, which is actually fairly like it's interesting in the sense that it sort of is easy-ish to sort of get started, but it does, and there are some sort of some aspects about it which are fairly complex. So you've got like these acolytes, which are sort of like your workers. You've then got like warrior nuns and also like warrior brothers. I think these are the two in through here. I'm not sure if there's a priest as well. Maybe that's the priest. I can't think of what they actually are. And I think you've got Templars as well, ultimately. So these are the minions that you then get to work with. And so these come in, and they've got a combination of holy attacks and mundane attacks. So they've sort of got like physical attacks for these two here in particular. And then they do have some basic healing. So it's actually got a nice feel about it. They've then got some unique areas in the game as well, like for prayer, not mats, prayer pews or something like that. I forget what they're called. Anyway, you can hold mass with different types of things in through here. Confessional as well, new items and decorations, and then you can summon in powerful demons. And so this is sort of more mid-late game by the time you sort of get these done. And this will then sort of form, I guess, the main part of your army, which is actually really quite interesting and cool. So anyway, it's a fun addition. Like, it's really quite thorough and well thought out. Where have we got? We've got here are the main gameplay features of the new faction. Build and finish a church in order to hold masses for your minions. Write liturgical books or to use during mass to gain protection. Faster digging or summoning help. Train your minions' divinity attribute at pair benches in order to unlock new prayers and increase their combat ability. So this is actually an easy one you can achieve this right from the start. Attempt your minions with alcohol and courtesans to order them to in order to for them to gain experience by confessing their sins. It's a whole other way of playing the game. Research unholy ideas in order to perform a black mass and use the power of the evil god Adoxy to summon up to 9 new demons with unique abilities. And it's I will actually start this one and show it, but this is the giveaway for today. It's such a great game and can be played so many different ways. It's very, very cool. In fact, even with this one through here, they've actually built this outside. And it's I'll show you how to start that process, so we can sort of see in this case here, like they've actually got is that this? No, this is the knights. This is not the new content, but this one has been built on the outside, not inside, like not as a dungeon, not digging into the ground. So much of what you do is digging into the ground, but it's there's a lot you can now do with the game. So anyway, let's just go across and open her up, just so you can see it. Hi Flackhawk, how you going? And Tenru, and hi David, how you going? Louise is saying hello from Rio de Janeiro. There we are. So you'll be having nice temperatures there now as well, like us, I guess. Like we're sort of in a similar latitude, longitude. Anyway, yeah, I think it's latitude. So you're here from the future, said Reed. Yes, we are. Yes, I am. Yeah, Louise is not. He's still back in yesterday for me. I think most of you are. KeeperRL is excellent, says Rogue. Yeah, it's great. So what's the gist of the game? Like Dwarf Fortress? It's heavily inspired by Dwarf Fortress, but it's more heavily inspired by Dungeon Keeper, like the old Dungeon Keeper game. But it's done in a roguelike fashion, and it's really, really cool. So I'll go through it in a bit of a deep dive because, as I say, I've been trying to get to record content, but I just haven't been happy with what I've done. I find that so often when I'm actually recording games. I record and then don't like what I've done, re-record, don't like what I've done, and just I can sometimes end up with over 10 recordings, and I'm still not happy with them. So yeah, that's quite common for me, unfortunately. Chris is saying, oh shit, I almost missed it. The clocks went back to the UK. So yeah, that was last weekend, I think, because I had to be mindful of like when I do streams for Slytherin, they use British time, and so I have to on my calendars, I've got to write in, okay, this is when BST kicks in or when it finishes and stuff like that, so that I can actually then rearrange my times for Slytherin. Unfortunately for me, some of the streams for Slytherin end up going back even earlier than when I normally get, when I normally wake up, which sort of makes life a bit difficult. Hi, Beacon or ZXM. Rogue is then saying base building, resource gathering, army control type game. Very, very like Dwarf Fortress, I guess. It's sort of, yeah, it feels like Dwarf Fortress in a lot of ways. It's sort of like Rimworld, says my 2 cents. Yeah, it really does. It's in that genre, but it is a Dungeon Keeper game as well. And it's a roguelike game, which means it's just fantastically random every time you play it. Like the randomization is awesome. But I'll do an introduction to the game, and we'll get into it. The giveaway is KeeperRL, says ZXM. Yes, it is. Nothing, nobody saying, hello, Daz. Glad I caught this. Thank you, welcome. Yeah, no problem at all. And welcome anyone else that's joined as well. So my 2 cents to you all is saying, well, what reminds me at a glance of Rimworld. Yeah, it does have that aspect to it. Like there is a lot of similarities with all those games. They're all heavily inspired by Dwarf Fortress, and so yeah, Dwarf Fortress was certainly a heavy inspiration for this game as well. And Lewis is then saying KeeperRL runs great on Steam Deck. Yeah, I haven't played it on that. Anyway, let's just get in. I'll just go and show you the new content. If we go to play, so the way it works is, the classic is like a classic Dungeon Keeper style, where you start either as a wizard or as a knight, like a dark knight or a dark wizard. You are evil when you do sort of start playing, but you've then got these other things that have been added in over time. Like you've got the castle, where you can sort of play as an actual, like a good character, like an actual knight. The corrupted church is the one that we've just brought in, or that's just been brought in with the bishop and the mother superior, backing through that one through there. You can play as the undead, where you sort of play as an actual necromancer. You've got the automatons, where you play as the gnomes, where they build things. So this is how their structure works. The colony is dwarves, and the dwarves only have plays a group of 12 dwarves that you can specialise to your liking. This faction has no immigration, so dig around carefully. They all play very, very differently. The automatons is seize the means of production and engineer traps. The undead is sort of like craft hordes of undead from the corpses of fallen enemies. So the colony is dwarves. Greenskins is you're playing as a goblin, so play and seek the legendary goblin matrons. This faction was originally created by there's a couple of modders actually started to build some of these things. So the Greenskins was like one of the earlier really, really good mods for the game. Like a few years ago, these came through, and so then they built a lot of good stuff. Actually, got to say, zombies back and through here. This is sort of an interesting one. Not so much to play, but you really just are a horde of zombies. It's sort of just very, very different. Adventurer is where you can sort of play as any of these, including, that's the god Adoxy, the evil god Adoxy that it mentioned before. Wipe the floor with silly mortals. Yeah, so we've got them in through here. And so these essentially roam the land in search of adventures and loot. So this is like adventure mode in Dwarf Fortress, very much like that. And so you actually just wander around the map with this. Of course, I haven't ever done the evil god Adoxy, but that would be God mode, I would guess, if you were playing as that particular one. And then a hermit is literally just a cyclops. So you build a dungeon as a lone cyclops, and so you don't have any other minions coming in with you. But we'll have a look at the corrupted church. So they all play very, very differently. If you're new to the game, I would strongly suggest just playing the normal keeper first. Just get a feel for it. There's a lot of different minions that you actually have that you then bring in with as either the wizard or the knight. But these bring in a lot of good stuff. And if you're used to the old dungeon keeper game, it'll slot straight in with the types of units available to you playing in classic mode. But we'll go to corrupted church. I'll just have a quick look through the comments. Hi Battle Mode, how you going? Let's see, Rogue is saying Necromancy is really fun to play with. Yeah, they're all quite different, which is great. So Battleman's saying this is getting updates. Man, I remember the developer doing an interview on Roguelike Radio. It must have been like 10 years ago now at least. The game was in development a long time. Yeah, this is one of these games that I got in before Steam. I saw it. I don't know where I saw it. I heard about it and thought I've got to get hold of this game. This was like one of these ones. I don't know how long I've actually had the game, but it's just a single developer has sort of basically been putting it together. We said before you came in Battle Mode that the game had been released back in March, but they are developing it, and there's actually now been a deal done with a PR company as well. So it's going to get stronger and stronger and stronger with the way that the game will sort of then to go through different things. So I'm expecting a lot more from KeeperRL. I thought that March essentially meant I finished the game, I'm going to move on to something else, but that's not the case, which is great news. Slobodan Tomic is then saying, damn, KeeperRL changed a lot. I played it at the beginning a little and life got in the way and I forgot about it. Yeah, it's sort of one of those games you can play for a short amount of time and have fun with it as well. Like it's an awesome game. Anyway, let's just go in and have a look at the new content. So start a new game. And I'll also show you how to build fetches. What it does do, this is really cool as well. It goes back to the server and then gets a list of all the different dungeons that other people have played and finished. And when you can retire your dungeon when you're happy with it, or it is a dungeon basically that you're building. And at that point, you can then load them in and play against those dungeons. So it's pretty cool the way that works as well. So you can end up having those as areas where there'll be another area of the world that you then control. So anyway, this is I'll just get rid of that information. There we are. So what actually happens here is you can see this little square in through here is the main world that we're then playing on. And this is just randomly generated. Now it does actually have world map style inland. We can sort of change that to either inland or islands. I'll just keep it inland at this stage. Whoops, hang on, there we go. It's just fetching another group. So you've got like different ways of actually then creating the actual world itself. You can add in retired dungeons, as I said, from other players. So you've got a whole list of them in through here. I've actually downloaded a few from some time ago. That's adding in this one through here as well. I'll keep that one there. This means that this one has been already added. This one I've already downloaded some time ago. There's a whole heap of them online that you can then sort of start to download from different people as well. So I did actually used to have one, but it was some time ago where I actually had set one up that people could download and fight against my dungeon. And I did a let's play on it. Anyway, that's sort of that's where we are with that, with the retired dungeons. The difficulty in through here, you can sort of then go and change like the different ways of actually playing with the actual game itself. You've got like main villains. These will be things like dragons or something big like that one. The lesser villains are going to be things like the zombies, the hydras, giants, for example. These are like, but the main villains are going to be fairly big and nasty. The minor villains, sorry, these are minor villains in through there. Lesser villains are, I think the dragons are the lesser villains. The main villains will actually have their own dungeons and that you have to then go and try to destroy. The aim of the game is to destroy the main villains, and once you've done that, you've essentially won the game. You've got two allies on the map as well. We don't know exactly where they are. They'll be in this bigger map that we sort of see on the side through there. And then you've got the enemy difficulty curve normal, so defines the increase in experience for every lesser and main villain as they travel further away from your home site. So you've got different things in through here. Start endless enemy waves after winning. And so this one then, what you then have to do is defend your dungeon. So you only have one location, but then you venture out with your army. So you build your army in your dungeon and then venture outside. Enemy aggression moderate, yeah. And again, you can chop and change these. You know, extreme, moderate, none. So if you're wanting to just play a building game, you can set that up as well. You really don't have to. You can have it however you want to actually be playing it. It's really, really cool. So if we go and re-roll the map as an example. So starting off in mountains and through here, for example, you can see some of the minor factions. They've got ants back and through this other side, a cyclops. That's the same as if we were building the not the adventure mode, or whatever it was, the hermit mode, I think. Giant spiders back and through that side, re-roll. Teutonic knights back over this area. We've got giant spiders, harpies, cyclops. Zombies back at that way, ants, cyclops. There'll be sometimes we will get others as well. There's dwarves. That's green. That's an ally at the start. Goblins, harpies, and ants. Hydras, cyclops. I'll just do it one until we get sort of like there's hydra, harpies, goblins. I'll just find one that's got some undead. There we go. This one we're sort of starting off in the snow. So we've got like different biomes as well. What's that there? That's a cave. Okay, so we've got a cave that we can go and do. This would be like a very, very minor type villain. So we've just got something off to the side. And so this one we're just starting up in the middle in through there. I can decide where I want to start. But I don't remember if the snow starts actually, so let's just go and confirm that start. So this is the overworld that we sort of see through here. The tutorials in the game, this sort of is, David, yes, sort of. It's sort of one of those things though that it's not difficult to pick up. And even when you run into some problems, one of the fun things with this game is just learning what to do differently next time. And so it's actually one of these games that is not an onerous game to play. It's actually fairly cool. It does have like a help system through there. Actually, what does that one do? Yeah, that's just giving help on that particular one through there. Let's just confirm this. So now it generates the random map, and it's mainly the map of your area. Just get ready to pause as soon as it sort of starts. Yeah, here we go. So this is welcome to KeeperRL version 1.1. This patch was released in October the 22nd, 2024. The latest update introduces a new faction called the Corrupted Church, and it just goes through the ones that we looked at before. Now, when I click on the X, it's going to start moving forward. The game is going to start moving forward. We're just going to pause at that point. So I'm just going to get the space bar ready and get ready and go. And so what you'll notice through here, just to explain a little bit about how the game is played, you've got a population of 1 of 10. Yet when we look at it, we've actually got a population of 5. The reason it sort of is like it doesn't include these guys. These minions or acolytes are your workers, and so they will essentially just do the work for you. So you give them orders, they then follow through and do it. This is the map. If I go and click on this one through here, you can see this is the whole area of just that one little region. Like in Dwarf Fortress, when you sort of build your small area up, you then start with a small area in through here, And so the actual overworld is still here. We're still just in that one little area, and we're just playing in through here. These question marks are 3 entities that we have to deal with at some point. Could be bandits, could be ants, could be dwarves, could be all sorts of different things. And so they will come and raid us. If they get triggered, they'll come and attack us. So we have to be a bit careful of those. So we have to establish initially a level where we can take these on. And you'll find that if you just go in with your keeper, like the first one, you're going to end up getting killed pretty much straight away. So you do need to build up a bit of an army. Now you can dig into the rock formation. You can see there's a rock formation back and through there. But you can also build on the surface. You can see down through there, there's like a frozen remains of I haven't played in the snow before. It's just little things that I'm going to find quite funny, because normally they're just skeletons, but in this case, they didn't thaw, so they've been frozen. So we have like a frozen remains that's sort of just lying out in here somewhere. Anyway, what we'll do is I'll just go back in and sort of go back to the region. Now you use the arrow keys to sort of move around a little bit. I won't dig in, but actually the other thing, sorry, with these here, this is stone, so we can see different resources on different levels. Anyway, let's just leave that one where that is. We'll just go back across again. So we give orders back in through this other side. In fact, I don't know what we've got here. This one tells you how to capture prisoners using horses. So this like there's not a hell of a lot in terms of your tutorial levels. It just goes through and gives you indications of how to play aspects of the game, but it's not really there's not a lot of work that's been done with this. That's probably an area that they could really sort of enhance. But when we go back through, this is the main orders that you give back and through here. Then you've got like essentially your population as to what you've got. Now we've got one keeper, which is the one population that we have. The acolytes don't count. To bring in new acolytes is going to cost me gold, so I'm going to have to find gold to bring more of those in to do more work. We can actually have teams to go off and do things as well. You can actually form little armies and move them off. The next one across is your spell casting and also your research. At the moment, at this stage, we can ultimately end up getting chicken breeding, which then unlocks pig breeding after that one, and unlocks the chicken coop construction. Iron working, which gives us, this will be the one that we want to get initially, because what we want to do is we want to get iron dummies for our warrior nuns and warrior monks. So that'll be fairly important. Luxury goods into here. This is the thing where we can get like the dark crafts and start to sort of become evil. We can get like golden pews, golden prayer benches, the jeweler, small temptations back, and these unlock other things as well. The dark crafts will then unlock that will be a much deeper level of unlocking certain constructions and abilities. Small temptations, so unlocks big temptations. This gives us the confessional, distillery, etc. So as we go through these, and the only way we can get these is by killing off other entities. So we have to go to those little question marks. If we kill those off, we may get 1, maybe 2 of the research available to us. And so at the moment, though, we don't actually have any. We need to have up to 100 points, and we get those here, conquer some villains to advance. So that's what we need to do. We can ultimately then get teams that then leave our church and move out of the area to the overworld, and then go off and sort of start to tackle the harpies or the giant spiders, the zombies, or the caves. And this is great fun to do this. So these will be established and set up, and so you'll take a little army in, do what you have to do, and hopefully get out of there alive. Anyway, let's just go and start to set up a church. What I'm just going to do is I'm just going to go back to my orders in through here. Very much like the old dwarf fortress, D is your dig command. It also is dig or cut tree. So it feels very much like it. And you just click and drag. And I'm just going to click and drag across all of the trees that I can sort of see there initially. I might just zoom out a little bit and get even more of them down in this area. Because we know we're safe because there's no question marks in the south. That's the stonework that we can see, the granite. Now we don't need that initially for what we're going to be doing. So we'll just go and grab more trees in through here. You can see there we're seeing where other trees actually are. You can use this to get a bit of a pattern. Like if I go to the top, and as a bit of a cheat, you can just go, okay, what's up in here, guys? Okay, we can see the cave network. Whatever's in here is inside a cave network, and in front of that is another cave with someone else in that one, and another cave in through here. So we've got 3 entities that are living inside caves. Outside here, we've got some trees, nothing much else actually out that way. So that's what we're dealing with. So you can cheat. You can cheat. It's not recommended, but now we sort of have a very, very clear picture of what we're dealing with. Sometimes there'll be like a farming community, and they'll be in little houses, and but we're not seeing that. We're just seeing a cave network. All right. So with that one done, I'm just going to unpause the game. The minions will then start to chop down the trees. As they move around, they'll start to expose things in the actual game itself. And you can see actually what's happening at the bottom. I'll just pause again and just do a bit of an explanation. You'll see that there's like a list in through here. The Acolyte will cost me 30 gold, and I don't have any gold at the moment. You can see we've got 0 gold, 0 wood, 0 rock, 0 iron, 0 adamantine, or adamantium they call it, 0 odoxium, and 0 infernite. So these are the minerals. You mainly will be using these first 3 or first 4 with the gold. The gold you will often find in loot, so you will sort of pick up gold that way as well. But we're now starting to get some wood that's just on the ground. So so what we'll need to do is we ultimately need to start to do different things with that one. So the Acolyte is going to cost me 30. This artisan has now become available, and he requires a forger or workshop or jeweler plus a bed to be able to then be hired. And so he would then be somebody, he's like a crafter for us. So the artisan will then craft things for us. If we go and click on the question mark, these are the various creatures that we can ultimately try to get. So we've got the Acolyte, the priest, the artisan, then we've got the armed brother, the courtesan, who is going to be doing temptations. That will then that will feed the confessional for us. We've got the gigolo. I didn't realise that what the other one I saw that one. That wasn't in there when I was testing the game previously. The dwarves. Now it says recruit is not available in this game. I'm not sure how or when that one comes in. There's the artisan, and then we actually have a prisoner in through there as well. So it's not a hell of a lot that we actually have available to us, but that little question mark will then show you the immigration system. It may be that the other one gets promoted from within, and then all the villains. This is all the villains we actually have in the map itself. So we've got different things. For example, like we know that there's a Yeti. We've seen that one, the minor villain. We've got harpies, which are lesser villains. Cemetery, lesser villains. Giant spiders. We've got the High Priest of Odoxy, which is the main villain. We have to go and finish that one off. We've got the Greenskins, which are also a main villain, so they'll be more powerful. And so these are outside of our influence zone at the moment. The only ones that are covered in through here. But we've got Ant Queen. We have to just defeat a Goblin Artificer somewhere as well. A witch, bandits. There'll be there's a shopkeeper somewhere, which is also a minor villain. There's the Teutonic Knights, which is an ally at this stage. So they're allies. The dwarves are an ally. And this is a retired player that's been brought in as well. So somebody has played this game and then actually, so we've brought their dungeon in. And so that's somewhere on the main map we have to then go and deal with. So that's actually that gives you a bit of a scope as to what we have to do to finish off the game. Thanks for the super chat there, Shravan. Very much appreciated. So we're saying, what are we up to today? We're just showing KeeperRL, which will be the giveaway for today. This is an awesomely good game. Now, one thing we need to do to start to be able to make use of the wood, we don't actually control the wood at this point in time. We have to go and give it storage. So just give it a little bit of a resource storage, or just give it like a 4x4, and then we'll start to build back over through here. Now, to build anything, I'll just quickly do this one. You go back to your structure, and then you go to building interior to start to figure out where the building will actually ultimately be. And they have to then go and build this one as well. Otherwise, I can just I can dig straight into the rock. And as soon as I dig something, it will then claim that tile. But let's go this way, and this will be soft rock outside through here as well. But we'll build a wooden church and then maybe look at fixing it up a little bit later. We'll just create like a largish area just for everyone to start with. And then we'll work out from there. So we'll just go to, say, what's that one? That's 7x8. That'll do us initially. So I just do that one, unpause. Some of them will start to eventually, once they chop down the wood, start to bring them back to this location. And then some of them will start to prepare the groundwork for the building interior. And so we can build our church outside by doing it this way. So just following their orders. I think I can hear a wolf. There's more bodies outside. So they're now building the interior. Wood is now being collected into this storage area. And so we can start to use this one. Hi Muzzle Paint, how you going? So yeah, so ZXM I've never actually started in a frozen area. It has a nice look. Yeah, it does. I'm really taken by the frozen remains rather than just a skeleton, which I've never seen before. Yeah, so Slobodina saying courtesans and gigolos, what type of church, kind of church we're running? Well, this is a corrupted church. Ultimately, we need to corrupt our minions. Here comes another one. They've got a priest that wants to now join. This one requires a wooden prayer bench and a basic bed. So we have to build everything out of wood to start with. So what we'll do is we'll just go now to the structures, and we'll now build a wooden wall. We'll just start to get these constructed. So I'll just get them laid out in around here. And I'm leaving a doorway open there, and we'll just go to doors, and I'm just going to grab a wooden door. It starts to make sort of sense with what's going on here. There's another priest that wants to join. If they have like an orange circle around them, it means that they've got something special about them that sometimes can be good, sometimes bad, but you can see what it is. So we're building all of this up. So we want to get, there's the wolf. I thought I heard it. Now he goes around and hits his acolytes to make them work harder. So they do work harder once they do things. Yeah, the wolf is not a big problem. It's not going to come and attack us as such. It'll just hover around unless someone gets close to it. We can now put the door in. And we can just start to build other buildings in around it and do other things with this. Yeah, so he just goes around, smacks them all just automatically. So I'm just telling them what to build, where to build it. I can control them, but we'll just get a few things set up. Okay, we've almost got this thing established. Let's now go to the actual, what we actually now have in terms of the mass. So I'll start off with the living quarters with the basic beds. Here we go, we've got a warrior, an armed brother that wants to come and join us. Let's put some beds up against the wall here, just so we can get a few other people coming in. And we'll go back to the training room. We can only afford wooden dummies at the moment. Now you want to have it so that they can walk around the outside of these. So just I'll put a couple of these in there. We can grab this armed brother now that we've actually got the beds and the wooden dummies. So in you come. So he's actually now wandering in. So he's now joined our group. If we go to the mass, we can then get like a wooden church pew, which I think is what the priest wants. Wooden prayer bench. This one here. Let's just go and place one at the top there. And we'll just go and grab one of the priests as well. Oh, hang on. They need to build that first. We can grab the other armed brother. So I'll need to get a bit of an army of these guys. Now he's training up. So here comes the next armed brother. As soon as, yeah, these guys are all sleeping now. So they're just using the beds. And so they'll just start to sort of build up. Just wait for them to finish. Now you see an armed brother has reached damage training level 1. Another thing we do need to be building in through here is a way to craft. So I'm just going to go into crafting and just get it like a workshop. There is a special workshop if you can find an enchanted pool, which gives you better equipment. I'll just go and place that one at the back there. We can now go and grab a priest. Here comes the priest. The priest has got spells. And there, everyone will go and pray at the bench. So they'll all make use of all of these. So you can see the keeper is actually training as well. Here comes a craftsman now, an artisan, so we'll grab him as well. He can then go back to the crafting area. And what we'll find, I'll just pause it and just go through what everyone's actually got at this point in time, just very, very quickly. Essentially, what we have through here is the arm brother. So this is anti-agot, the arm brother. We can control him directly if we wanting to. We can rename him, banish him, locate him, assign gear, etc., etc. So he has got. There's two of them that are the two arm brothers are in here at the moment. So they're both from this different group. Notice we've now switched across to the creature area. We've got half our population already filled. 1 keeper, 4 acolytes, which don't count, 2 armed brothers, 1 artisan, one priest. And with what we actually have through this side, we've then got these have got no equipment. They will need to be equipped to then go out and do what they have to do. So initially we only have wood available to us. And so at the crafting bench, we want to get clubs. And I can sort of change the numbers in through here. So I'm just going to change the number to get, say, 4 of them, 4 each. I'll just confirm that one. So it's going to be 40 wood to actually do this one. You can see we've got 487 down the bottom through there. Leather armor, we'll just get 4 of those as well. Leather helm, 4 of those initially. Pair of leather boots, 4 of those. So it's quite simple and it's quite intuitive. Wooden shields. These 2 cost wood, so 4 of those, confirm. And a pair of leather gloves in through there as well. 4 of those. That will sort of give us our first grouping. We do want to have hand torches for everyone, just so that when we go into the dungeons we can see what's going on. That'll be like an accessory for everyone. And the wooden crozier is actually this one gives extra divinity. And so I'll grab 2 of those. Actually, if I do the upgrade in through here is we use the left or right mouse button to add or remove upgrades. We don't actually have any yet. So I'll just grab one of those. That one, the keeper that we have, should actually end up with the crozier. So this is the stuff that we can then go and craft initially. So he'll just come in and do the crafting. You can see that we don't get to see anything until the people go outside. Like there's a field of view. They can see everything on the inside. Now it's going to get dark in here, so I'm just going to go across back to my structures, go back to installations. Torches don't cost anything. I can just put them on the walls, so I can just go across, throw one on each of those walls as an example. And the next thing, like once we're sort of doing all this, he'll start crafting. These guys will just do what they have to do. They'll start training. They'll be going up different levels. You can see an armed brother has reached level 3. Now that will mean that he's basically at the end of what he can do. So if we go and have a look and see what he's got, he will be now limit of 3 for training in divinity arts. So he hasn't got anywhere there yet. But he's got a limit of 12, but can only get to 3 with the wooden training dummy. We need to get the iron now. So we have to now find the iron. So let's go and dig down. So if we just go back across to the structures, or go to stairs, go to a down stair. You can also have Z levels going up, so you can build high. So let's build a stair there. And I'll show you the stairs going up as well. So we'll just go and build those. Now we're out of beds. Actually, we're out of prayer benches for that one. Oh, we need another a wooden training dummy for the other guys. They've now built 2 areas. Like on this one. If we go and now press we can go to Z level 1. This is like the roof of where we currently are. So we're now looking at the roof, and you can see we can see down from here. But we can build up even further up into here if we wanted to. So we can sort of do different things. We can only build on top of an existing structure, but that's something we could do if we wanted to. In fact, let's just go and do that while we're here. I'll have to get more wood, but if we just ultimately, if I just go back into structures, wooden wall, and just put the wooden wall down, I'll just build it in around this region. And we'll ultimately just put some more beds in here as well, I think. So we'll just put living. You want to theme your areas essentially, but I'll throw some beds along that wall there. Oops, it's not doing it. We may have to change that to floors. No, it won't let me do that either. I wonder if we have to go and do. I haven't really played much with this, with going up in Z levels. I usually just go down. Building interiors, maybe. Yeah, we have to do it that way. And then we can build on the inside. So, but if we go then down, if I press Control and just use the scroll wheel, I can then go down underground. These are like mushroom trees, mushroom farms. And if we have a look at what's actually going in through here, we can then sort of see that there's some more. So we've got the trees are sort of coming up in this yellow color. The rock is coming up this way. We can now start to dig underground as well and just go across and pick these things up. So if I just go back into the D mode again, dig, I can then just draw out a little area back and through there. What I like to do is establish like a way of blocking things off with in case we get attacked, because you can be attacked from underground here. So we'll just go and create another little 3x3 for placing another stairway down. But we can also then just come off these and start to grab this, for example. So I can sort of just tell it to go and mine that little area out. That'll do. I'll just unpause it. So they're going to come in. Now it's dark under here for them. They don't like being in the dark. So ultimately, as we build more torches, they will then be able to pick up torches, which will give them some light. But we can also get some torches on the walls here. And we don't really need the wood because we've got that up top here. So if I just go back into dig mode, I can then just go and grab a heap of trees from around here. So we can just start to build up for the actual church itself. And so this guy, we do also need to have like a storage area in through here as well for the stuff that he makes. But the others will then start to pick things up. Actually, he hasn't picked anything up just yet. He's still building away, I think. He's doing the armor now. Has any of them got anything? I'll just get a storage area for it. Here we go. We've got one now with a circle. And so you can see through here, this one's got +4 divinity, but -4 defense. So it's got like a higher level of spell casting, but at the expense of actually of the damage that will then come into it. So that one is, yeah, this one's got 8. This one's still got 8, but less defense. Yeah. Anyway, it just means that he's not going to be as good, but he will be much better as an actual priest. So if we grab another prayer zone, if we go back to mass. Wooden prayer bench, just throw another one in through there, and that way we can ultimately pick this guy up. Yep, so we can now grab him, so he'll now come in. He's got like a special ability. Here's another wolf. You can capture animals and things, or different units. And I will just go and grab in the zones, sorry, not in the zones, in storage, just an equipment storage area as well. Just go and throw that in there. We're very congested in here. You'd normally sort of add them all up, or sort of add them all out everywhere else. But these guys should be getting, yeah, this one's now got the wooden crozier, the helm, armor. It's got a workforce book, things like this. Boots aren't been put on there, but he has actually, they're not equipped yet. So they'll eventually get all equipped up. I'll just take it to the point where we can go and do a quick raid somewhere else. Let's have a quick look and see what's happening up top here. Oh, that's down bottom. Now, one thing I like to do as soon as I can is just press C and you get the torches. I'm just going to put a torch on that wall. It takes them a long time to build through. This will be hard rock, so this is more difficult to dig through. And we will need to go off and start attacking soonish. Let's just go and see. We're at 6 of 10 at this point in time. And go up the top. Oops, auto saving. Oh, it auto saves. It's now essentially going to be night time, and we'll now go through 1,500 ticks of night time. Different things will then operate differently in the different zones. Let's just now go across. Now that we've actually got our flooring built, we'll go and dig. We'll just go and create living quarters, basic beds back through here. Throw those in there. That will just allow us to do a bit more. So we could start to sort of theme the rooms now. But so you can do it. You've got a lot of scope in the game. It is very much like Dwarf Fortress in that sense. So he's just there telling them to keep on going a little bit faster. What I will do is I'm just going to come back up again and just tell this guy to keep on building more of them. We'll need more of those. So I'll just get them queued up. And even more. So we're only just using wooden clubs initially. You can see it's now night time outside. They're still working away, trying to get what they can. Got more armed brothers that can come through. We do need more training dummies. I might throw a couple upstairs in here. Actually, we need torches, so you can sort of see there. It's a bit dark up in here. And we'll just go across to training room. We do need a few of the warriors that can sort of then go and do different things. So they'll eventually just get built. With the acolytes, they do get fatigued, so they have to go and do different things. Here we go. We can now start to get more armed brothers. I might wait till we get a special one. We've got a special priest, but we've got 2 priests now, 1 special. And so they're using the prayer mats to pray. Let's just go and grab another one. Where's a wooden church bench, wooden prayer bench. So we're quite congested inside this little room, but if we underground, it's much more expansive where we can do different things. We can get another one. I'll wait until we get a different, like a one with a circle around it. It looks like they've nerfed that back a little bit actually, because it was a time when you were getting heaps of them with like special abilities, but not in this case. And so in this case, we still haven't found iron, and then we do have to. It's often a fair way down to actually go and get it. I'll just get the downstairs. And we'll just go and grab, just for security, we get a door. You also ultimately can then unlock traps and all sorts of different things like this. You also have prisons where you can start to, you need iron to get the prisons established. So you can actually ultimately, it very slowly takes you through a progression. So Slobodan is saying, Dungeon Keeper was so good. It was good, but this is so much better. It's so much better than the original Dungeon Keeper. This is it's often rare to find like where you do think that classics have been replaced. This is an instance where the classics have certainly been replaced. Okay, we can see that now he's now using shields and a club. Even the priest has got the club, and so he's now going off to get stone. Eventually, one of them will come back down and do the and grab what we have in through here. I've spent a lot of time with this. I really should start to go on to other things. But anyway, I thought I'd just give a bit of an overview, because here we go, arm brother. Now this guy hates all elves. That's the only benefit. That's the only difference he actually has. He has a trait where he hates all elves. That'll do. Let's bring him in. But some of them can be quite useful, but that's a bit of a useless one. But if we if any elves come, or if we come across any elves, he would just go crazy. So. Yeah, we're seeing different things coming back and through. I'll just go and grab yet more of these. I need more hand torches as well. Just one less. That'll do us. Okay, so he's now sort of, I think everyone will be decked out. Okay, let's now just go and raid. They're still trying to get their divinity up at this point in time. But if we go across, we'll raid, we're halfway through the night. But they're going to have torches, so it won't really matter that much. Let's just go out, let's just go and get something happening. Here's another one, +8 defense against the undead. Okay, so you can see there's some interesting little extras that do actually come through. Okay, we're going to now create a team. We've got 4 armed brothers. We haven't got any nuns, actually. That's interesting. I wonder if you have to be the Mother Superior. There's certainly, again, were nuns coming in when I was doing the testing like a week ago. So the 4 armed brothers, I'm just going to drag them down into this new team. And so they're now all in a team. We also want to have one of the priests. So let's go and grab the one that's got the extra divinity. Which one is it? 19 plus 4. That one's only got 12 plus 4. Let's bring Gothip in as well. So we just drag him into that particular group. And we'll also grab our keeper and bring our keeper in. And so that's going to be the actual team that we then go out with. Now the way it works in through here is I think I can right click on one of these and make that the I forget how I make it the actual leader. Yeah, I can't remember how to actually do it. I thought I could just move it up. into the top there. Anyway, that's the team. So what we'll do is we'll now go out, even though they're still training. You can sort of see that they're actually still doing different things. Let's just go out. You can see that there's a little bit of a glow around them because of the torches that they've actually then got. Let's now go and grab the team. We'll control the team, and this one is coming through as a leader. I can actually change, control mode leader. If I go, switch to the leader. So our character then becomes the actual leader. At this point, we can then just go and click, and the team will then start to pick on up. These guys will just keep on doing what they're doing. Let's now just right click to. Hang on, that's not it. If I scroll up, I'll then just go outside. See the little torches that they're all carrying, and so this is our group. Let's go up and deal with some of these creatures that are up in through here with the little group that we actually have. We can only see as far as what we have. Okay, this is a bandit group in through this other side. Now, to fight them, I can just let them go. I can just sort of do tick by tick. There's a fox. Actually, it wasn't. I thought it was a wolf, but it wasn't. It was just a fox. Now, we just use a spell there. So we actually have like spells that we can then make use of. This is the spells for our creature, for our main one. A healing prayer. We've got the, that was what we just used there. Holy Missile has now got a cooldown of 20. These guys will then start to come and fight. We can actually then go and chop and change things a little bit and have the fight on our terms. If we can get across all three here, it means that we can ultimately have just one coming and fighting while we control three. So I'm going to go to, I can actually give orders to the whole group, like team members will stay in place and won't follow the leader. We've got don't chase, so team members won't move forward towards enemies and only fight those that are adjacent. We can also go to control mode, which is now full, which means that everyone is now just going to move. So I'm just going to move that one up. And so they'll go through order. And as they come through, we'll just set them up where we want them. And so it's just tick by tick, essentially. I'll just leave you back. Now, I don't want to go in there because I want to have multiple, so just press space, move that one in, move that one up, move that one down, move that one up. So they're now actually in this area where this bandit has now moved into the area. We can see his inventory as well. So he's got like a club. I don't have to do it in this turn-based mode, but this one allows you to fully control everything. I can just go back into the other one, and they'll all just have their turns, and all we're doing is controlling the keeper. I'll do a little bit of this one where we're doing it manually. So at the moment we've got it's the keeper's turn. I'm just going to press space because we don't have anything we can do. This one through here can actually now go and do an attack. So we did a lot of damage. This one here will then kill that one off. They've dropped their key, so we can actually pick that one up. Here comes the leader. So if we kill the leader, they don't spawn any more back in. So we can sort of, like, getting rid of him stops the immigration for the actual bandits themselves. Just move that one up. So we've now got 3 across here, which is a good place to be. Just leave the others where they are. Just wait for him to come a bit closer. Okay, it's now the keeper's turn. We do actually have our magic missile again, and we can sort of do extra damage across different areas. If I do that one, I think we do damage to our own guys, so I'm not going to do that just yet. So we'll just press space, and now we can start to do the attacks. So big hit, and that one's down as well. Let's now just go back to control leader mode, and we'll just go into like essentially what we're going to do is just move around. They will then just start to go in themselves and attack. Now they're using spells to heal themselves up. This one's slightly injured. Just press space, and we'll see them doing different things. Let's just now move in. So there's more of them in here. Let them come up. This one's almost dead. That's only ours. He's down. So this guy here, this armed brother, is wounded and unconscious. And so we're going to have to, like, his health is still okay. they can lose limbs and all sorts of different things as well. So, but in this case, he's wounded and unconscious. We'll just keep on fighting where we are. But see how they've got the advantage because of where we actually are. So in reality, we'd be wanting to, like he's been carried back out. It's so cool the way it does work. We're going to need to get out of here. So I would, in this case, what I would normally do is just go back to the other control mode. There we go. This one's pretty badly damaged. Okay, we've destroyed the tribe of bandits. At this point, there will be loot, potentially. There's nothing we can see through here. And so our group is now fairly badly off. We've still got the unconscious guy, haven't we? No, where's he? We're down to, yeah, we've actually lost one of the members of the group. And so with that one done, there is actually the key that was around here somewhere. You've got the key, we've got clubs, we've got healing. But I can sort of just do like a full-on raid, full-on just pick up the loot type thing. So we're going back, and we did lose one member with that particular group. But it's a very, very cool game with the way this one does work with these little armies. And we can then just go into exit control mode. So we did actually we killed a fox and a heap of these guys, heap of bandits. And at that point, we can just go straight to pillage, which then allows us to go and grab all of the stuff that was left there, like healing spells, choose all. There we go. And pillage bandits, we can't do anything with the corpses because we don't have burial areas or anything like that. But it's a game that it's just a fun game to play. Yeah, it's an amazingly good little game, like a great little game. So it's just improved so much over the years. I won't spend any more time with it. We do have another priest we can bring in if we wanted to, which we don't want to do. I'm really looking now for a replacement warrior monk. But there we go. So that's KeeperRL. We will be... Geez, I've spent an hour talking about this. I didn't mean to do that. But it's just such a good game. Anyway, that's going to be the giveaway at the end of the session. So let's get out of there. So you can abandon the game if you're wanting to. If you've gone deep enough, you can then retire your dungeon, which then allows you to it then goes back into the mix where it will then become a part of the pool of dungeons, but it has to be at a certain level to be able to do that one. I'll just abandon the game. It is a roguelike game, so basically it is permadeath type stuff. If your keeper gets killed, that's it, it's game over. Sorry I've missed so much. What was War of the Overworlds? Is that any good? I didn't think it was, to be honest. I didn't bother with it. Would you ever play Factorio as a DLC Space Age? Yeah, it's very well done. Factorio is such a great game. Actually, I haven't seen the Space Age DLC, sorry. I'm just going to skip past because I've actually now lost a lot more time than I thought I had. I thought it was only half an hour in. My apologies, guys. I spent way too much time showing that one off. David saying, "Going to get it? Yeah, you sold it to me." Well, have a look first of all if you win the marble run, because you may win it today because we've got that as a giveaway. But it's an awesomely good game. Like, it really is incredibly good. All right, the big one though, I guess the big news of the week is the Distant Worlds 2. And as I said before at the start, 60% off the base game is unheard of. So that's a great deal. I'm trying to sort of do a lot of content this week simply because the DLC did come out. It's also been very, very well received, the new DLC, which is great. Actually, let's have a look first of all at the Steam page for it, because I'm not sure. I've only saw it was 100%. What people thought of it at the time. So I just go to Distant Worlds: Return of the Shakturi, and yeah, positive. It's 90%, which is fantastic for this game. This is a really good result. And what's interesting about the Return of the Shakturi DLC is it's not just end-game content, and that's what makes this so good. It adds a lot of content to the game. Like, it really is a major milestone for the game. This is the Shakturi coming through their portal, and the models of the Shakturi ships look fantastic too, by the way. Look, it's a beautiful looking area. If we go and click on this one through here, this is the Shakturi. I don't know if we can see it in any sort of detail. It's a bit hard to see it there. No, they do look great. But there's also other things. I'll just go through like the setups of the games, because I'll start this one up as well. But 60% off. If you've been on the fence, now's the time to grab it. So Raven's Path was saying, thanks for all your live streams last week on Distant Worlds 2. Encouraged me to reinstall it and learn it. Yeah, it's a great game. And it's one that I played a live stream where I just let the AI play for me, and it was great. And that's what we're currently playing at the moment. I'll probably restart again next time, because we haven't really got anyone dangerous near us. So like, it's one of these games where you don't know whether it's going to be an easy game or a hard game. You can certainly change things. I'll show you a few of the starts that you can do with the game. It's so much scope in Distant Worlds 2. There's no other game like it. It's a simulation game more than a strategy game. Well, it's a strategy game as well, but it's at its core, it's a simulation game, and that's what makes it so unique. So if we start a new game, I've been playing in these varied clusters, which I do enjoy, but you've got all sorts of different starts. I'll leave it there. I'll leave it at 1,000. Oh, I might even ramp it down to say 700 stars. When you go to 700, you can't go more than 6x6. If you go to 1,000, you can go up to 10x10. So maybe you'll keep it. I'll keep it at 1,000 and 10x10, so that there's a lot of space between everything. But we'll ramp up the number of enemies and stuff, or other AIs. With the different starts you've got, I'll set everyone to level 1 as an example. Restless, normal. The difficulty. Most games just have a difficulty setting for the game. In this case, if you put in hostile races near the player and you have some more, whatever faction you play, the enemies of that race will then be near you, and that means that's a really big difficulty setting. Just that one through there. This is a big difficulty setting. There's so many things you can do that really impact the difficulty of the game. Just go back to threats, back and through here. This is pirates and space creatures. I'll just leave them where they are. This is the setting up the galaxy with the colony prevalence. This has been tweaked to give it much better balance. And looking at the way the AIs, like, when you actually look and see where games end up, it's very nicely done now. The balance is great. Independent colonies are good as well. So this is the number of those. This is your border range. This is your colonization limit. I'll just go to let's play as one of the. It really doesn't matter that much, to be honest. I'll just play as human at this stage. Government types. You do actually now have a new start if you're wanting to do it, which is refugee fleet. This only comes with the DLC. So the refugee fleet allows you to. You start off essentially. If I go to refugee fleet and then go to the next screen, this one then tells me how I want my fleet to be set up back and through here. So this is actually pretty cool to sort of see the way this one actually does work. I might as well play this one. You've got like the basic is just like a bit of a bare bones. Military will then add a cruiser in. Exploration and colonization gives you an extra colony ship, which allows you to get to 2 planets. And resources back and through here just gives you extra mining ships and freighters, etc. You do have you can either be 1, 2, or 3 tech level. 2 is the default, and your starting location is just any old place. Other empires, I'll ramp it up to say 20. So we end up with a lot of empires in the game. And then the victory conditions back and through here, you've got so much choice now with what you end up doing. So in this case, if we go back into what are some of the things we might want to do? This probably the general story events. If you don't like the hive, and like you can turn that off here, for example. So you can say, okay, look, I don't want to have the hive on, but I'll keep planet destroyers as ships that you can build. Again, this is planet destroyers are part of the Return of the Shakturi. You don't have to have the Return of the Shakturi storyline on to actually have access to them. Also, if you do turn off the Return of the Shakturi storyline, you still get access to alliances, so that you can have federations now with the DLC, not without the DLC. But the Return of the Shakturi, when the Shakturi arrive, it forms the galaxy sort of gravitates into 3 alliances essentially, or a non-alliance group that just doesn't join either faction, one that's pro-Shakturi and one that's anti-Shakturi. And so the Shakturi sort of end up with their own grouping, like a federation, and then the free planets end up with their own federation as well. But if you turn off the storyline, because this is end game stuff in through here, so it's late game stuff. If you don't play into the late game like me, you might want to keep it turned off, because it does allow you in the mid game to be able to form your own alliances as well. So you still get access to the aspect of doing that, which is great. I always turn off the race-specific story events anyway. I'll just go and start the game. And then we'll have a bit of a look. Yeah, this is like, I won't go into too much detail about all the simulation side of things, but you have to have every single resource has to be accounted for. It's incredible the way it works. There's no other game like it. In terms of it being a full-blown strategy set in space, it's great for its own sort of level of story development as well. Like, you end up finding, you might have like enemy ships that become like, that you know the name of because you've been trying to chase them through your part of the galaxy and trying to destroy them and things like this. It's just an awesome game, really awesome game. Yeah, every weapon has its own firing arts and many attributes as Korosami. Yeah, it's a great game. So Korosami's thing, the only negative for me for Distant Worlds 2 is it hasn't added to all the original races yet. But it is being worked on. It's just such a big project to do that. It does take a long time for it to form the galaxy. And but you can play it without any, like, you can actually just have the AI play and you just watch. It can be played in so many different ways. But the refugee start is it does require a lot of micromanagement to establish that one. Just see if there's anything else. Oh, Chris is saying, how much RAM do you have, Daz? I only have 16 gigabytes and can't do bigger galaxies. I've got 64, I think. I've got a lot. I've got a fair bit of RAM. Yep, so Kurosami saying ship damage can be done to individual components. After armor is destroyed, they can affect the engines, the systems. Yeah, it's very, very cool. The whole combat system is so much better than what it was in Distant Worlds 1. It's amazing. So we've come in through here with our fleet of ships. So a ragtag. What's the Battlestar Galactica thing? Ragtag bunch of ships or something, whatever it might be. Whatever it is, anyway, that's our grouping. There's a couple of areas in through here where we've got like some missions already, but these are protected. You can see that there's something else here. We would need to go in and destroy that one. Back over through here, we've got more of them as well. These have actually got unknown pyramids on this particular one. This one's got and this thing gives us clues as to where we might end up. But the first thing when you come in as a refugee fleet is that you do need to then try to find a home somewhere. And so this is the galaxy. One thing with the game, I won't play the game as such, but if you go across into the messaging system has now been really finessed, which is great. You've got all sorts of different filters to turn things on or off depending on how you want things to go. Like, I'll just put it back to say default. But you've got all these. You do have some presets, like that's the default. That's more of a focused group where you've got a lot of things turned off. This is priority, where there's even less things. It's just things that are absolutely critical. Well, then will be the only things that then show up. So you've got like a really nice system now of doing the messaging. I wish you could save your presets with this. And you can also then just say, I only want to look at combat messages, and I only want to look at the at say focused combat messages, which just sort of stops it from seeing every single attack that's going in. All the captured ships, you don't get to see those get captured. But or you can say, okay, look, with combat, I really want to know all of it. So I'll just go back to all types and just turn them all on. So the filtering is great, and this actually has a major bearing on your enjoyment of the game actually now, which is it was really surprising to sort of see how that one works. I'll just go back to default. But these settings here won't affect the settings that we have in all messages. So you've sort of got like different presets depending on what you want to be focusing on. Just go back up through there. If the other thing with the game as well, like to sort of see where the other factions actually all sort of started, we can go into the game menu and just go into the game editor and just sort of start to sort of see there's like a group in here, for example. In fact, if we go into the empires, we've got Actarians, 3 Actarians. Wow, that's a lot. 2 Boscara swarms. That's another human group, I think. You have to sort of tell what some of these are. There's 2 Gizarians. Yeah, so there's a fair few, only 1 Mortalan by the looks of things. it's interesting to sort of see the see what's actually in there. Heaps of pirates. These are all the different pirate factions. So anyway, that's sort of that's the grouping in through there with different things that are then sort of going to be happening in the actual game itself. That's interesting. What's that there? That's a oh no, I thought it was actually a massive empire, but it's not. I'm not sure what that actually is. Is there? You can sort of tweak anything when you do this. Yeah, so there is actually a group in through here, which is Nekar 3. Actarian, yeah, another Actarian. Heaps of Actarians in this particular game. This will be an easy game actually, because of the amount of Actarians. They do like the humans. So anyway, that's the editor. I won't sort of go into any more detail with that one, but that's it does allow you to switch empires and do all sorts of different things. So it's really, really cool. Chris is saying, I never knew you could do that. Yeah, it's kind of it is cheating. I don't do it, but it can be. You can just think, oh, look, I just, like for example, look, I need to know, like I need to change the name of something. You can zoom right in and then go into the game editor. Just get rid of that one. Game editor, and then I can go and click on things and change stuff. If I need to. I can rename it if I wanted to. Things like that. So you can do it where you don't see everything, but it shows you everything. Like it shows you, refugee fleet, clue human administration will then be sort of shown that one. This one is another one where we've got a refugee fleet clue back in through there as well. We've also got the individual elements like the Gravelexes. You can sort of change their health, size and health if you're wanting to, like sort of make absolute monsters if you needed to. But there'll be other little things like there's another clue for the humans back and through here. You can start to see the story elements that sort of get sort of shown around the place. This will be a ruined genetic vault somewhere down through here. So on this planet there'll be a desolate station has been established in through here. Not sure what bonuses it does give. It may just be random. Not sure actually what that one does. Anyway, there's it gives you a lot of stuff. There's a money that you can find at this location. Ultimately, it'll be an event. There's a lot of things like that one. All the hive. Actually, we turned the hives off, so they're not going to be in here. Pirate ambush. There's going to be like a ship or something in here that you when you come into this planet. It's got like a stone nexus of Aza, but it's actually a pirate trap. It's really cool the way it does work. It's just such a but this is really, really cheating to be sort of looking at this aspect. I'm not sure what these dotted lines are. It's sort of it's interesting seeing them sort of going all over the galaxy like this. They sort of go. Oh, maybe I don't know what that is actually. No idea. There's another group that's right near us actually. That's actually a force that's actually already here. They're already mining this system. Whichever group that is. Anyway, I won't spend much more time on it, but it's as a simulation, it's unparalleled. It's really, really amazing. But that's the editor is actually great. You can also, not so much with this start here, but you can just go and play the game on auto. So the other thing you actually then end up having as well is you've got this is the alliance system now, which. To form an alliance, you then need to sort of go in and bring people into that alliance. And you can only do this one in the early part of the game if you don't have the the Shakturi turned on. So if you turn them off, you can then form this earlier than when the Shakturi arrive. So you can actually go and form like a Federation of Planet type thing. And so this then means that you end up with like a council that of the different forces that have voting rights. They will then vote on on bringing members in or whatever else that might actually be. So it's quite involved. It's a whole other area of the actual game itself. That comes in, I think it's tech level 2 somewhere. Probably be down the bottom here. I think it's something you essentially unlock. Should be down sort of in the diplomacy stuff. God, they've added so much to this game now. It just gets better and better and better, and not just in little ways now. It's really, really exceptional. That's diplomacy. I thought it was down here. I thought there was a thing that opened it up, but I may be wrong about that. I haven't really played much with the alliance system at all. But I thought there was an unlock in here somewhere. Yeah, I'm not sure where it is. It may not even be that. But anyway, that's essentially the changes that have come with Return of the Shack 2. There's a lot more as well, but there's a lot of quality of life things that have now been added into the game itself. Somebody's saying, I think having an option to save templates for automation policing and messaging would be very handy. Yeah, it would be. Some of them do have it. Like some of the templating has it, but the other ones don't. Actually, I'll just pause that. So I get sick of all these things, for example, and so you can just turn that off. You can just go straight into new resources discovered. I don't want to see it. Thank you. And that way you don't get to see that at all anymore. If you just sort of let the game go forward, it'll just do what it does do. What do we get up to? So without that crisis, the game tends to tail off towards the end. I don't know. Like it's sort of like you sort of know that you've. I have my victory condition set pretty low. Like in this case, it's funny. I've noticed that we don't get the. It may be because of the cheating. If I just go back out again, just go back to the main menu and start a new game. Just go next. I'll keep it level 1. I'll keep it on human, but this time I'm going to go back to, for example, just a democracy or something like this. And we'll go level 1 there as well for ourselves. Yeah, I'll leave all that there. Yeah, so victory conditions. Race victory. I've got them turned off. That's why. It was me. It was me all along. I was wondering why they weren't showing up, and that was all to do with me. But you can chop and change those as well to at least get a result early-ish, which is so you can tweak those settings as well. Hi Voxter, how are you going? So Drex is in saying, wouldn't it be at the bottom? Yeah, do you need the DLC to make alliances? Yes, you do, JKS. Yeah, so is forming an alliance like Federations and Stellaris? I'm guessing it would be. So yeah, that's pretty much where that would actually be. ZXM is saying the Federation type multi-faction alliance came with the new DLC, but I don't know if you have to have the DLC to do it. Yes, you do with the alliances. They're part of the actual DLC. The military goals are not. I'll just let it load in. But the military goals aren't part of that. Yeah, so actually I had the whole race victory conditions turned off. They're awesome. Yeah, of course, somebody's saying, would it be cool if only the most rarest resources could be sent in messages? Yes, that would be great. Yeah, that would be fine to just see those top 3, the 3 luxuries. Would be very, very nice. Or if you like, to be honest, I also like to know if I don't actually have access to what is it? Actually, this will be a very, very hard start. Just looking at this one here, I would be restarting this one because we're probably more than a jump away from where we can colonize. One thing that's also been added in with the with this one is outposts, which is part of the DLC. Just press Shift. I'll go up to 150. I've got a few there. I've got a couple of planets that I can get to. I can't get to those. I can get to that one. I can get to that one. Get to that one. Yeah, I can get to a few of them. Anyway, that will be a hard start if we're playing clusters and we're outside of a cluster. It makes it fairly difficult. But anyway, that's the yeah. With the actual way that the game would then be played, I'll just double check that this one now is working. Yeah, we now actually have the victory conditions, but depending on where you set that threshold there, will then sort of dictate when the game does end. And usually it won't go too far if that's sort of around 60%. That sort of gives you a fairly good game usually. Anyway, I won't keep on playing it, but that's Distant Worlds 2, certainly a big addition. Actually, that is one thing that is pretty cool now, is that if we do go across, I don't know if we'll have any. We probably won't have any that we can see. I'll load up the game I've been playing. Because we're a fair way into that one, and I can sort of show a lot of the systems that are actually in play with this one here. So I'll just turn off the long-range scanners just so it looks fairly clean. And so in this one, there's nothing really too dangerous left over at this point in time. We've sort of done a lot of discoveries back and through this other area. It's still very early in the game. Like, we've only sort of really come across these. But there's been no one really dangerous near us. And so that sort of has been a little bit easy-ish at this point in time. I've only really been fighting pirates. So I probably won't play this one again. I'll probably just come back and restart another one. But this one here was, what it does do is if we go back into the colonies and go into new colonies, you can see there we've now got two different ways of doing colonization. We can either build an outpost, which means that we, which is great for claiming planets that where you've got very, very low quality. We can, but if you still wanted to sort of get like bonuses through ruins, or to, like if you had a one that was too far away that was actually worth getting, but you needed to get some of the presence nearby, you could actually sort of then just build an outpost and then build the colony somewhere else. You can always upgrade an outpost to a colony as well. So we've got like some fairly high-ish level ones like Tarsont. Just going to double click on it. This one through here is at 18. But if we had a reason to grab it, I could just build an outpost there if I wanted to. It still costs me support, but it's it's just another option with that. We're not at war with anyone, but if we were at war, actually let me just do that while we're here. If we go to the opponents and speak with them and offer treaties, we declare war on you. Now, they like being at war, so they get a special special ability with that one. So we're now at war. I'll just let the game play forward a little bit, and then what we'll do is it will ultimately then give us things we need to then go and do. And this is a really cool addition. This is actually part of the base game, and so we've got a war mission. So accept war mission, secure assistance, and so we can either decline or accept these, which is good because previously you just had them and you had to just do it. So our military strategists have analysed the situation in our war against the opponents. They're actually further down over through here, and so it's just sort of saying looking for tasks that have a maximum impact against our enemy. They have the following suggestion: we should make more friends and allies. Sign a free trade agreement with the Ikaru Tranquility Haven, and so making friends with these guys is actually a war element, and it will give us a war score of plus 50k, which is a massive amount that then gets added into the actual war progress. Now, on the other side, the Ikaru will also have a similar war, a mission. So in this case, we end up with plus 5 Empire happiness for a year as well, and we increase the enemy war weariness a little bit as well. So it's sort of so by us making a free trade agreement with the Ikaru, it means that we don't have to focus on the military side. We can actually focus on diplomacy. So so we've got that one through there. If we go and accept war mission, secure assistance. So if we go and accept that one, it will then appear at the top. Usually, there it is. So we've now got this war mission. We can have up to 3 of them. And so, and this one here, we just need to then focus on not so much on taking a war element. This one is about making friends, but it could be defend a you've got a planet that's, or a research station or something like that that's sort of under threat, and it just says protect that for a certain amount of time, and you would then get war score. Or it could be bombard a planet. It could be all sorts of different things. So it's actually a really good system. And this is part of the base game now as well. And what it does do is it really helps with that story element within the game itself. So it works incredibly well. So so what have we got? We've got what can outposts do? Extend your range. Pretty much. Like, there's things like, I don't really have anything that's in this game that's really worth doing it, but if there was ruins somewhere, if I go to exploration and look at ruins, there's a few different ruins in through this other side. If they gave empire-wide abilities, like for example, this one here is, see how it's only got location bonuses? It's not empire-wide. It's all just location bonus, location bonuses. Actually, that one does give all research. Oh, sorry, no, that's going to be if you build a base around it. Sensor research hive. Yes, this one is, again, if you end up building a research station. Colony development. So we're not seeing any of these that give global here we go, empire wide. So this one through here, the pillar of Trendu, is a location. If we go and double click on this one through here, so this is Trendu inside. This is a friendly other Camino group that we're actually, we're very, very close with this particular group. But there is actually a planet in here that has actually got this. So Trendulu 1, is that the one? Yeah, this has got the pillar of Trendulu. Now it's already they've already settled on this particular one, and they've already built a colony, I'm guessing. Oh no, it's -5 for Camino. Yeah, so they've actually they will have just built an outpost. So they've actually got an outpost just sitting here, and they've done that because of the empire-wide bonus, getting the +5% base maintenance savings. So they're actually saving money, even though it's costing money to have this particular outpost there. They're trying to get the savings, the 5% savings. Now, is it worth it? You'd have to make that up, make your mind up about that yourself. But pretty much, if you find a ruin that does give you empire-wide bonuses, you may want to settle it. And that one there is like a very, very uncomfortable living quarters for the Camino. Like it's actually not an easy one for them. So the quality of the planet is 30%, but the actual suitability is -5. So usually you can't colonize. You can colonize anything with over 0. But with the outposts, if you really wanted to, you can colonize anything. It's just going to cost you, the more unsuitable it is, the more you then have to look after them, the people that are there, and the more it costs you. So that would be a fairly expensive operation. I'll just go to another area as an example. If I just go and find a planet here, for example, this desert savanna moon, you can sort of see through here, this one here has actually got like -20 for the Camino, but I can still build an outpost here if I wanted to. It doesn't come up in my list of desirable planets to sort of go and settle, but if that had an actual location bonus on it, I could then settle it and actually have it. It would then come up in my list. And in fact, I could cheat and show you that, because there's nothing under 0. If I go and just go to the cheats, game menu, game editor, click on the planet, add a ruin. Actually, that's not it either, is it? Add ruins, there we are. So the Grand Fortress of Nerastus would be the one that we actually have through there. So we've got like a facility now. This will now have been added to it. And then the bonuses. Oh, hang on, that's Admiral Quality. No, that's not going to do it. I'll just get rid of that. I should be able to... this is just changing the graphics. I forget how to do this. It's facilities. Not sure how this one then works. Yeah, it hasn't been investigated at this stage. So I think we'd have to then sort of see what it actually does do. But anyway, so I thought I'd be able to actually give it a specific ability, but it looks like I actually can't. Anyway, that's... but that's sort of the way it does work. Actually, I meant to get out of there. I'm not going to continue with this anymore, but I'll just go back out, quit that one out of there, and just exit the desktop. What have we got there? We've got, sorry, I'm missing so many of the comments here. So that's what outposts do, essentially. So like Colony and Core Worlds in Galciv 4. Sort of, yeah, sort of a little bit like that, except that they do cost you. You've still got to be careful of them. Yep, so Battlement was just saying to Chris, they're talking about that Drexy may be able to answer a question there. Don't know if Drexy's still in. Anyway, we'll continue on. So the soundtrack of Distant Worlds 2 reminds me of an electronic music group called Aphex Twin. I've got no idea who that is. Anyway, let's start the giveaway. Actually, no, there's still more stuff to talk about. Let's just quickly go through the rest of the things. Field of Glory Kingdoms. Let's have a quick look at this one, because that's actually just had an update, which is, and there's a hidden gem in there, which is really quite exciting. So let's just go across and play that one. Actually, maybe it doesn't show that. Options. Does it show us the trying to find the information about what they brought in. It's not there. Just go back out again, see if we can find it. But there was one little line in the in what they've actually added. We'll go to the product page. Actually, I'll just go to Steam with it, and we'll do a search. Fields of Glory Kingdoms. I don't know if they often don't put the actual news in here, but they, yeah, okay, this one just came out. Yep, so this one is pretty much right now. So explore these major updates and the additional of the German localization for the game. So there's a heap of stuff that's been changed in the game. They've made trading easier to see, not to do, but to see. So it's actually now, it gives you more information about trade. That's one big thing about it. They've now enhanced the Holy Roman Empire a little bit as well. One of the big changes is heavy cavalry gets clumsy in like hills or mountains or forest, which makes them, yeah, if heavy cavalry gets clumsy, which really makes them fight very, very poorly in congested areas, whereas just normal cavalry gets ungainly, which gives them a -1 in those areas. If they're agile cavalry, then they can still sort of operate normally. So it's saying this is a major change. It will prevent knights from being the best unit even in forest. This will sort of make a lot of the battles quite interesting now, because the knights really were where you tried to go, but that's no longer the case. So this is really quite cool. So that's actually one thing. They've rebalanced a heap of stuff in here, particularly around copper and brass. What we've got there, several new map filters have been much improved and useful, which I haven't really had a good look at that one just yet. See the full change log. Let's just go into this one here. So here we are from 4 hours ago. This is what we actually have. Now there is one line which is very, very exciting. There's heaps of stuff that's been changed in here, by the way. I'll see if I can find it. Game now supports a maximum of 640 factions, not 512. Probably in preparation for something big. Now I don't know what that is. Like, it's sort of, I'm trying to think of what could that possibly be. Does it mean that they're extending the map on the existing, like to get more of the Asian areas into the actual map itself, or maybe even deeper into Africa, or both? It could be that. It could also be that it ties back in with some of the later starts and with some of the other DLCs that have been available for the base Field of Glory game. So I'm just not sure how that actually does work, and so that's going to be an interesting way of actually looking at that as well. Like, so with whatever's coming there, so they've actually, that's a pretty big addition, 640 factions as opposed to the 512 now, like that currently actually be in the game. So there's some sort of expansion coming, but I've got no idea what that actually is. But anyway, that was sort of like a bit of an Easter egg hidden in amongst all of those different bits and pieces that were actually in there. There's a lot of changes that have come into the game, so I'll be covering that in the coming weeks as well. Definitely be covering that, because again, this is a game that's really, really quite exceptional with what it actually does do. So yeah, so this is, as I say before, it looks like there's something coming. I would prefer a later start, like, to be honest. I think that would be really, really cool to actually get something where it does sort of start at a later date, like in the 1200s or something, just so you've got sort of like even more heavily armored troops. At the moment when we start, we've just ended the Viking Age, and so we've got like there's a lot of Huskarl type troops around, or troops that aren't really all that heavily armored. Whereas towards the 1200s, we end up with sort of like, I consider it to be more interesting type units, and that would a lot of the DLCs that came out for Field of Glory Medieval took us to that sort of era, and so it'd be great if the base game, if the base Field of Glory Kingdoms game could also get into that era as well. Because what they try to do with Kingdoms is to make it so that you don't have to have the DLC to play the Kingdoms game, but the DLC I find really quite interesting with with things like for example, I don't even know if you play as England, if you even get longbowmen at the start. I think you do. I think you can get Welsh longbowmen. I think if you play England, I'll start her up. I mean, I've got it half started. just saying any Age of Wonders 4 news. That'll be next week. That'll be the release next week. I haven't got anything yet, so I check every day. I'm expecting to get hold of it this week, but I haven't actually got it, so I haven't been able to actually test it. I'm really looking forward to that, though. There's a few things like that I'm going to be that I'm allowed to show. So next week I should definitely be talking a lot about Age of Wonders 4. I can also next week talk about Zephon. So that will also be something I'm allowed to talk about, but not allowed to talk about it just yet. So anyway, they're going to be 2 things for next week. Anyway, scenarios. We'll just quickly go into here. Just go to Grand Campaign. So it sort of only has like the 1000 start, essentially. There are some of the later starts in some of those smaller areas. Haven't checked to see if anyone else has actually built an actual mod for the game that actually does have different sorts of starts as well. That'd be pretty cool. I'm not sure if it's easy enough to do that. Maybe too difficult. Just saying, Zephon, cool. Looking forward to that one. Yes. So I've actually got the the pre-release version of that, but I just haven't. I've just not allowed to show it. I don't even think I'm supposed to be talking about it yet. Anyway, that's we won't go there just at this stage. So if we go and play as England, I'll also just do that as an example. What I love about this game is when you actually look at the characters, you can see these are much more like Huskarl type, sort of almost like proto-Viking units that we've sort of now got established. The Welsh are much more lightly armoured because of the terrain that they fight in. We've got sort of like, again, more Viking type groups back over through here. The Irish are very, very backward in terms of when you do play them in this era of the game. They're really not that fun to play, which is a bit of a shame. That's why I would like to see them a little bit later on, because I do like playing as Ireland, but the forces that they actually have here just aren't that great available. They have some Viking units, but nothing much else. We start to see, once we go down across into Normandy, we start to see the armoured knights, particularly with the French. The French also tend to embrace those. Actually, where are we? We've got just bowmen there. But the French often have cavalry. Yeah, they've got some cavalry back up there. But traditionally, I thought that the French army around Paris actually had some changes. They've changed the name of this to France now rather than just Paris. I think it was what it was called previously. But each little faction has got like a different mix of forces. If we go and start as England and just get into it. I'll show you some of the little changes that have come with the with this version, which is pretty cool. So original intent saying no uber fatal marble maps, please. I got wrecked so bad last time. Yes. So Slobodan is saying the Irish are very backwards. So Niall Novi sub-roll. I don't know what that means, but yeah, I like the way that came out was not what I meant. I actually really enjoy playing as Ireland in these sorts of games because it's so compressed. It allows you to play it like a mini game, and but in this case, you really just are using very rudimentary forces. They're not much fun to play with because I do like to fight the battles out in medieval. Just go and close that one off. Okay, so with the changes, there may be cavalry. Yeah, we've got some cavalry in through here. If I press Control, you'll see down the bottom there, these are agile. And so these can fight in the forests. And so this has actually got that agile setting. So attack bonus of +1 in forest and rough terrains. So this is actually cavalry that is sort of like, these are mounted Huskarls. So these are essentially mounted Vikings. So at this stage, England is essentially made up of like Huskarl type infantry, which are just heavy infantry. They're ungainly, so they do actually have a penalty when they fight in the forest. But the cavalry, the Viking cavalry, is still sort of fairly prevalent. I don't think we'll see much else around the place. Yeah, they're just going to have like more Huskarls Don't think I don't even know if we can see across the channel. Yeah, we can't see what the Normans have got, but the Normans have got very, very heavily armoured cavalry, which means that when they do go and fight in the forests in through here, the forests of England, they're going to struggle with their cavalry forces, which means that areas like Mercia and Wessex and things are going to ultimately be able to defend themselves reasonably well. It's the big plains in England that are going to be the problem for the English when they meet the Normans. So it makes the game much more engaging in that sense. The other thing we also have with this now is, if I just go and click on a province, is the trade system now kicks in and gives you more information. So in this case, and I'm just picking this at random, we can see there's like an arrow of goods coming into this area and another arrow showing that something goes out to here. So something goes out to Nottingham. When we actually have a look at this one through here, we have natural trade goods. So we've got this one, and when we hover over, that one's not going anywhere. Where is it? This is, here we go. Imported from London. This is the wool. So we get wool from London, which is, it's Northampton. Actually, London, there must be another one that's showing from London in through there. So we're getting that from London, and we're getting this one imported from Northampton there. So this is the tiles and bricks. It's coming from that location. It should be showing us where it does go out. Yeah, this one here. So they're actually exporting out livestock from this location. So we now get to see where things are actually going on the map a bit more easily. It's a little change, but it does help. In this case, we can sort of see that there's this is manufactured trade goods. We've got livestock is being exported to London as well. So that's actually where the export sort of does show. If we go and click on London itself, we should then be able to sort of see there'll be a lot more tracking through the different locations. So we will have exporting to Sussex. This is just wool. We've got wood through there. This is manufactured. Now they're actually importing as well. Oh, no, sorry, they're producing that one locally. In this case, they're exporting some to Derby. They've changed this recently where when you get wood, you get 2 wood. There's a few things like that now where it doubles up the resource count, which is good. So it just means you can sort of distribute it a bit more than what you could previously. The balance is much, much better. So there's a lot of things like that. They did mention that there were changes in through here as well, but I haven't had a good look at those just yet. So I think it's a trade goods overlay. Don't know if it'll sort of show things as such, really. Yeah, I'm not really sort of seeing that too much. Anyway, it's a great game, and improving all the time. And it will be interesting to see if they do what they do bring in. But with a 1000 start, like you don't have a lot of knights, whereas 1200-ish, you're going to end up with more interesting units. So you can see also through here with England, we don't actually have, I don't know if we can actually, if we go back to, back to the units, do we have longbowmen? Now, we've only got light archers at this stage, so we don't even have the longbowmen available to us. If I just go back out again, sorry, I'll just go and click somewhere else. I'll just go back to the normal mode. Sometimes you get extra stuff back and through here. If we just go to, yeah, so we're not getting longbowmen here yet. So they're not available to us just yet. I don't even know if we get them over through here at this point in time. I mean, different locations will have different units available to them based on where they actually are. Yeah, anyway, I won't spend too much time. We can't control that. But you can bring mercenaries in, and I'm pretty sure Welsh may have been like in around here was where they started, but we don't have access to them at this early stage. Now where did we get up to? Sorry, with the comments. Yeah, just found it funny. I said that's okay. Battlemode saying to Drexy, I've got offered that one to review. I wasn't sure what that one was. Whereas is Derby in the game? Do you call it Derby or Derby? We have a place in Australia called Derby, but it's spelt the same as Derby in England, I think. I'm not sure. Where is Derby? I'm not sure where it is. I don't know where the things actually are. It's Sussex, Kent, Essex, London, Cambridge, Suffolk, Norfolk, Nottingham. Yeah, I don't know where. Oh, there it is. Derby. Five boroughs. There we go in the middle. So yep. So up through there. part of Mercia. No, it's part of Five Boroughs, which is, where's that? Over here, this way. So they're like vassals of England at this stage. Yeah, so it's pronounced Derby, but spelt Derby. Yeah, I think we've got the opposite sort of pronunciation with one of the places here in Australia. Oh, this way. Okay, so battle modes from here. There we are. So it is there. You can play as this group. Actually, there's no. It's interesting that that's. Oh, that's the province that it's from, but it's still part of England. Still part of England in this instance. Yeah. So this is English territory, where they can recruit. They can recruit different things in different provinces. But still no, these are just mercenary archers can be built there, but they're not longbowmen as such at this point in time. So there we go. Chris saying I'm from Essex. There we go. So yeah. Anyway, that's all cool. So you know how to pronounce it. Although we have a lot of English names here in Australia. Actually, a lot of places of the same. There's like Worcestershire. We know the names because of the source and stuff like that. I may, even though it's spelt completely differently. It's just weird. Anyway, so there's changes happening with Field of Glory Kingdoms, and which is exciting. And I don't know where the expansion will occur. I am hoping that it does mean that we get more later stage development with what's going on, but it could mean. Because they've got like the hordes, like they've got the Mongol hordes and all this sort of stuff. They're really, do they need to go any further to the east? And I don't know if they do. So I'm not sure what that addition brings in. Like it's sort of, I don't know if I'd be interested in playing much more further east than what this is showing anyway. And into Africa as well. Like there's, like really it's in the Middle Ages. Probably not really, no real point going much further south either. So I'm not sure what that's going to bring with the extra factions that they're going to be adding to the game itself. I mean, there wasn't, even though Greenland and Iceland had been sort of discovered by this stage, it wasn't really anything that was it wasn't like a major thing. So I'm not sure what they're going to do with it. Anyway, that will be interesting to see what does come in. I'm sort of excited to see what they do bring into the game itself. Anyway, geez, we're running late. I need to do the marble run, guys. So let's get this one done. Let's get out of here. So with KeeperRL is the giveaway today. I'll just have a quick look at the rest of the stuff that's coming up in Steam, just to see if there's anything that we need to talk about. But at least I did a bit of a deep dive into KeeperRL. Great game, like an incredibly good game. It's if you don't have it and you don't win it, you might want to look at getting it because it's just an incredible. Let's go back to the library. So patch 104 for Field of Glory Kingdoms is there. Distant Worlds 2 we spoke about. Age of Wonders 4, we have more information coming. They've actually done a hero rework, which I haven't read about yet, but this is actually going to be interesting. I think this is actually be another. Every addition they've made to Age of Wonders 4 has really enhanced the game. So I think this will be like a free update. I'm guessing at the same time as for next week, I would imagine. Coldridge, I haven't shown this game, but this is actually a really nice little Western game, and I do mean to cover that one. Hearts of Iron 4 keeps on getting more and more development actually, which I've got to go back and have a look at that because by all accounts this has really improved a lot. Northgard, that's interesting. I didn't realise that Northgard would be still in development. I thought that had finished. Zero Sievert, we spoke about this last week I think, with what was coming. Yeah, we did show it last week. This is such a cool game, and so anyway we covered that in detail last week. The definitely have from 2 weeks ago. This is when it started to sort of come through. It's a great game. I've been streaming it a little bit as well because it's just so much fun to play. I'm terrible at it, but I love playing it. Dwarf Fortress as well. We've got like other things coming with this. I've got to get back up to date with what's happening with Dwarf Fortress. So tutorial work begins. The tutorial was abysmal. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with that one. So Beta 24 is now live and includes the beginnings of a tutorial and audio. It's sort of everything's always just sort of half done. It's always been the process with Dwarf Fortress, and then eventually something great will come along, and you go, okay, now I'll jump back into it. But I'm interested that they're still actually developing as quickly as they are, which is great. Sins of a Solar Empire, there's more information there. I've got to play more of this as well. I really love what this game does. It's just such a beautiful game. Quasimorph, so on Safe and Sound, I'm not sure what that is. That's going to be some, on November 4th, we're part of Safe and Sound. No idea what Safe and Sound actually is. Quasimorph, another great game, like Zero C, but they feel similar, even though one's real time and the other one's turn based. Galciv 4. Now they've got another big update coming in December, so I'll be covering that one towards that time. The KeeperRL we spoke about, Dominion 6 2.1. Many bug fixes. I've been watching these. This is from 2 weeks ago. I have been opening these up to have a look and see what the changes actually are. At this stage, nothing major. Like when there's a faction, I'll definitely be wanting to cover that more again. There's just so much to cover at the moment. Rimworld's birthday, that was 2 weeks ago. Yeah, it looks like we've sort of running out of different things into your Panzer Corps 2. I've been playing that a little bit on the Slytherin channel as well. I really do like this game. It's such a great game. Anyway, that's got it all covered. Let's get the marble run set up. I'll just go into here, and where is it? Oh, I've closed it down. I hate when I do that. I accidentally close the whole thing, and it's sort of I've got everything sort of set up where it's where I've got all my the whole recording is now gone. Not gone, but it's like I no longer have control of the. I can see the chat because they've got a pop out with that, but not the rest of the stream. All right, so Nightbot, we'll just log in. It should be automatic. Okay, we're going to go to giveaways. The keyword is going to be keeper. So just type in the word keeper in the keyword, and then you'll be in the running for it. I will start the marbles up, get them ready. So marble run, where are you? It's funny, the my version. I upgraded my version of fences, and it actually reshuffles the elements, which is very annoying. It's sort of things aren't where they're supposed to be. Marbles are supposed to be the first one in that little category, but it ends up sort of going back through the other areas. Yeah, so just type the word keeper in, guys, and then you'll be in the running. It's a great game, this one. Oh, the game we gave away last week as well, the building up the Roman forces, they did actually have, there was something where they've actually gone through now and had a really good look at all of the different scenarios that the community has built as well. So yeah, they didn't come up in the list, but I thought that would have been showing in there somewhere actually. Just get into race so we can set up the users. All right, okay guys, so are we done? We've got everyone in that's going to be playing. So just the word keeper if you want to be in the running. I'll just ditch on out and go across to the Nightbot. Go and grab the list. Yeah, so I do want to thank the developer for the key to give away. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. All right, so Voodoo Dog is the last one through there. So so Chris is saying, I can hear birds in the background, Daz. Is that real birds? First I thought it was the game. Yeah, it is. It's just on dawn now. It's 5 a.m. So it's so the light is just coming good. Now, Chris, you're not down, but I'm going to include you. I'm also going to add in David as well, who may not be in the chat anymore, because he did express that he wanted to be in it. So just go and throw these in. Okay, and Torch, are you in there? No, you're not. I'll just add you in manually. Chris saying already on the game. Oh, look, I'll put you in anyway. I'll put you in anyway, so that'll be okay. So we've got, actually, you guys are also not in it as well. You should be in it, guys. You should be in it. I'll just go and grab the rest of the list again. You got to be in it, guys. You got no choice. Oh, you are in it already. Okay, Kurosami. I'll include you as well, Chris. You don't have to accept it if you don't want it, but you got to be part of the marble run. It's the rules. And I'll just put David in as well. So we've got 26 players. There we go. William Thomas, are you in it? No, you're not. So I'll throw you in as well. Drex is saying, "Oh, keeper, by the way." You're in there, though. That doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you got it or not. So just be part of the fun. You can always just say, "Hey, look, keep it for another time." I can then sort of it gives me something, because I don't have that many to give away, like things to give away. So it's sort of always, for me, it's actually nice to have them back if you're not going to use them, which is fine. So anyway, that's all good. We'll just say that 127 is the list. Go back to the game. Open. Finish. Go back. Grand Prix. 27. Bots. We'll just do 3 maps again, and we don't know what it's going to be. So we can have this is the maximum elimination percentage. So we've had it at 75%. Is it possible? So I mean, one of the races last week, I think it was only two or three people that got through. But anyway, that's what it is. That's what it is. So we're going to autofill our races in through here just randomly. Oh wow, that's only 10 seconds. Okay, this is going to be a weird one. Minimum time is 10 seconds. We happen to have one where that's the average time. Anyway, good luck, everyone. And we'll see what happens. See who actually wins this. So in we go. I've got to check this one out when I'm not recording stuff, just to see if I can reset the actual each week to actually reset the amounts. Wow, this is going to be super, super fast. So let's get started and see who actually wins. Whoever's out in front is going to do extremely well here. Mad Hat Raven Desk, maybe. Kurosami. It is. Wow, it's Chris. Chris is. Oh no, Kurosami won. There we go. And everyone else died. That's crazy. Oh, that's crazy. What a crazy result that is. That's a massive. So everyone else dies, and yeah, that is weird. Actually, no, we do have 10 points. We have up to 10. The top 10 got through, and no one else. Ah, that's weird. Is that the? If I go to Grand Prix, yeah, there we go. That's our. No, we had 9. The top 9. No, the top 10 did get through. So we've got the. Kurosami is now on 20 points. That was just way too fast. It's just really, really weird. Fastest race I've ever seen, says Kurosami. Yeah, it is. It's just crazy. So 20 points, 15, 12 there for Tiny Mutant Squid, JKS on 10, Blade Watcher on 10, Mad Hat Raven Desk on 8, ZXM on 7, Reed on 6, William Thomas on 5, and Olivia on 4, and everyone else on 0 at this point in time. Okay, good luck for the next map. That was super fast. These are Icy Adventurous Creations. This is a lot longer. So I'm saying, woohoo, 6th place rules. So we'll start this one. This looks like a Christmas one, doesn't it? With a snowy roof for Santa. There goes the reindeers. Everyone's safe. They're all skiing. This is cool. This is a really good one. See who's the first one through. It's Slobodan with David and nothing. Slobodan's the first one through there. Down through the pipe. Actually, Reed went through. No, Reed's out. Mike's out. So a lot of you aren't making it through here. Slobodan first in through this other side. This is going to sort some people out. There'll be a few people actually falling off here. Slobodan is... No, William Thomas is through. Anyone going to be thrown off? Yes, there goes Korosami. And not safe. I thought you might be safe there. William Thomas out in front by the looks of things. So just coming through towards the end. So a little way to go. People could still be falling off at this point in time. Williams a fair way out in front now. Big coffee cup, cappuccino. Williams straight through. Straight at the bottom. Straight through there as well. Now it's a cannon. This could be a bit dangerous. Actually, Olivia has now died at the back there. There goes William. Being fired through the cannon into the chimney. Did William make it? I think he did. I think he's still actually alive inside the chimney there. Getting down to the back end through here. Yep, so the others are all making it in as well. Voodoo Dog, not so much. Everyone else is getting through, so everyone's sort of in the back of this one through here. Here we go. So the first one through is Mad Hat Raven Desk. So first one out. Tiny Mutant Squid, David is third. Maladroit, ZXM fell off the outside the edge of this one. And CB almost, Hugh David fell off. We're getting a fair few. Oh, gee, a few of you have almost missed, but and some of you have. So who have we got left? We've got Drexy left. Drexy miles behind, waiting for the cannon. The last one. Mucking around. It's the bottom of the cannon. Can I get up? I can't get up. Let's have a look and see where you are. There he is. Just hovering around it here somewhere. He'll get gobbled up. Yep, so that he got gobbled up by the map. All right, so that was Mad Hat Raven Desk. Got that one there. Let's look at the final results. Again, if we have a look at the Grand Prix, it's the only one that really matters. So we're now getting a fair few numbers coming back up through. So we've still got some on zero. So Voodoo Dog, Hugh David, Mike, Chris C, and Drexy. Back at the top through here, Mad Hat Raven Desk has now got 28 points. We've got 27 there with Tiny Mutant Squid. We've got 20 points there with Ghost to Show. This is going to be a close finish, actually. Another 20 there. Then we've got 12. So the top four, Mad Hat, Tiny Mutant Squid, Ghost to Shows, and Korosami are in a good position. David's not too bad at 12, but then it's actually a fair few within reach. Anyway, let's see how we go with the next map. It could be an absolute killer. Who knows? Abstract Area Abyss. So good luck, everyone. Get started. And the first one into the chamber here is going to be Voodoo Dog. It's been accelerated. Let's see who the first one out of this is. A bit of a gauge as the names come back around. Looks like Crunch. Voodoo Dog, Maladroit is in the lead. See who the first one out the bottom here is. Got Barbara. Here comes Crunch. Straight through. Got Blade Watcher. Hugh David. Now I don't know if there's anything dangerous here. Well, nothing. It doesn't look very dangerous at this early stage. But it did say airy, which made me think it was going to be lots of jumps. These really aren't a problem. Even that shouldn't really be a big problem. I've got a few areas back in there that will be an issue. So here comes Crunch along with Barbara, Blade Watcher, Hugh David. Everyone's just going on this bottom route, which will bypass that dangerous area. They're just coming straight down the side. Is anyone going the other side? No, no one. Everyone's just on one side. And that looks like it's maybe a poor design for the like there's been a problem with the design of the actual map itself, I would guess, if that was the case. Crunch still out in front. Looks like the, I don't know if the leaderboard will change actually. It looks like this is all just one great big loop through. It's, the other side looked a lot more interesting. But everyone was just on this very easy slope. Here they come, here they come. So Crunch looks to be still out in front. I don't know if anyone can really pass. Crunch, it's going to be Crunch, Barbara and Hugh David. Can Barbara catch up? Let's have a look and see. Whoa, it's close. Yeah, Crunch first, Blade Watcher, Barbara, Hugh David, Maladroit, Serenity, Mike, Voodoo Dog, Korosami, and then Torched back in through there. Here we go. So that is the, so Crunch is the winner of that particular one. We'll look at the final results, and we don't look at that one. We look at the, well, in fact, we've just finished the Grand Prix. And see who got third, second and first. So in third place we have Crunch. Okay, so a big comeback win through there, but to get to secure third. Then we've got Tiny Mutant Squid in second place, and then the winner is Mad Hat Ravendest. So, congratulations, Mad Hat. You've got the win there. We'll just have a quick look at the numbers. Whoa, well, that was really tight. So 29 points there at the end. Tiny Mutant Squid on 28, Crunch on 26, Blade Watcher on 25, Korosami 24, 21 goes to shows. That was a super tight finish there. Really, really tight. That was great. What a great finish. So well done. And so Mad Hat, if you can actually just shoot me an email at daz@daztactic, let's write this one in.com. I can then send you the key. So, yeah, congratulations. That's really, really well done. Anyway, guys, I'm going to have to leave it there. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next week, and we'll be talking we'll be talking Zephon, we'll be talking Age of Wonders 4, so there'll be a lot to talk about next week as well. There's a lot coming up in the coming weeks, actually, with gaming. So it's been a big week with Distant Worlds, and also now with KeeperRL, with the big change through there. That's a free update, by the way, that KeeperRL update. So if you've got the base game, you'll be able to just sort of do what you have to do through there. So Matt Ravendest was saying, phew, didn't play, so I thought I'd lost out. Looking forward to the game. Yeah, it's a great game. It's a really fun game. There's so many different ways of playing it, and it does change around. I mean, you sort of get a pattern when you do play it, but it's a really nice game to play. It's fairly relaxing as well, which is actually really quite cool. Because you decide when you're going to do the attacks. You do get attacked a little bit, but it's great. A great game. Anyway, guys, going to leave it there. So thanks for watching.